Hello, and it's freezing here in the garage, and at great expense, I brought you these two new locomotives. Well, one of them's new, and one of them I've already had. The new one, this is the original one, is this one behind. They look exactly the same, don't they? But if you look closely, one's 26501 and one's 26500. I've renumbered one of them. That's my original one. I renumbered it to 26501 because two were built, but Heljan haven't released 26501. And I thought, for the sake of 50 quid, I can carefully alter the number on 26500 and create that, which isn't bad from a distance. You know, I used a marker pen to scrape off the old number, and it's not too bad. You know, I had a set of numbers from I can't remember who the company was, but I've still got a group of numbers which are ready to go on. You just wet them and then carefully dry them off. So with a bit of diligence and not damaging the markings, because these are finely marked, I managed to replace it with a 1, but it's actually yellow slightly in colour. Yeah, I'm giving it all away, but it's not too bad. It will do. 26501. I always want, and they're beautiful locos from Heljan. Absolutely stunning. They've got working lamps on the front. They've got working interior cab lights. The pantographs are actually raise or lower. They're not working pantographs. You can't pick up from them, but they both run beautifully. And yeah, that has been on my mind for a while. So it's pulling some open wagons, which it would have done on the quayside branch up in Sunderland, up in the northeast. These locomotives were built to replace steam engines on the steeply graded quayside branch, and the engine drivers were getting asphyxiated in the tunnels on that branch. They were single bore tunnels with hardly any ventilation, and they're complaining. So the North Eastern Railway built these two, and eventually, when they got nationalised, they carried the BR black, and then there was painted this lovely BR lime green with the representation of the NER on the side there. That's that logo on the right, together with the BR logo on the left. Two of them. One of them got preserved when the line closed down in 1964. But sadly, 26501, the one leading, went for scrap at a place called Choppington near Sunderland. The quayside branch itself doesn't exist anymore. The tunnels are blocked up, filled in, and I don't know how much trace of it you can find. But yeah, these are lovely runners. They've got working cab lights and working bonnet lights. But sadly, 26500, the one I received yesterday, one of the lights is packed up, so I've got them running in reverse just to show you how it would look. So yeah, nice models, and this is the new loco I was telling you about that I'd ordered. I've got a good price in it. I've got discount from Rails of Sheffield. They've got 20% off of this, so if you fancy one, do it. They'll charge you 20 quid to put a decoder in, okay? I didn't bother with that. I do it myself. Alright. Tricky. You need good eyesight, decent jeweller's tools, and a lot of patience. And get yourself a loco cradle, or make one up. And then just follow the instructions in that manual there. It tells you all there how to take the body off. It's not strictly accurate. There are some errors in it. They don't tell you that the screws on the base plate are blocked in by the shoe gear, and you'll never get them undone properly without removing the shoe gear. Alright, so what am I talking about? I'll show you as they come around what I'm talking about. I worked this out myself, that to get at the 4 screws holding the body onto the chassis, the shoe gear has to be taken off. There's 4 bits of shoe gear on the body, on the chassis I should say, and that's there. You can see that. There's a sort of like see that bar thing there? That's called a shoe. That just unclips that one, that one and the two on the other side. Just unclip them carefully with tiny little lugs, and then you can get the screws. It's a quick job, you know. It's just a bit fiddly, and there's a couple of loose bits in there which they mention in the booklet anyway that you need to make sure go back on. Yeah, nice model. The other thing I want to mention is the sad closure of Hatton's Model Railways, the model railway shop. I'm so upset about that. Although I'm a bit hypocritical here, because I stopped using them in the end because I found them a bit expensive, and I drifted away to people like Rails and Kano Model Rail Centre, and you know, there were a lot of others that came along, and I don't think they probably helped themselves when they closed their shop down and decided to just have that warehouse in Widnes. I mean, that might have been a factor. People blaming Brexit, COVID, all sorts of things really, but they were losing a lot of money apparently, Hattons. So and I think the original Hatton brothers and sisters eventually sold the business onto someone else, and as the new year dawned, they decided it wasn't cost effective to run it. They're solvent, they're not insolvent, don't owe the bank any money, they're just going to sell off all the stock and that's it. But it'd be nice if someone bought the name Hattons just to keep it going, because it's been going 76 years, and Norman Hatton was the man who founded the business up there in Liverpool. You know, he started off by selling Hornby double O's spares, and when Hornby got rid of that, he managed to bought a job lot off of Hornby. They sold it, and he started selling them. But they fell into trouble with Hornby and over their display and whatnot, and Hornby brought out new rules for dealers that they needed to have a decent display, and there was an argument basically went on between Hornby and Hattons, and they stopped trading with each other. And then Bachmann also had a problem with Hattons because they brought out their own Class 66, so Bachmann stopped trading with them as well. Now that may have had a knock-on effect, I don't know, but all the same, it's worrying to see a big dealer go out of business like that or close down. And now heard that Worley, they're not going to carry on doing their shows either. So yeah, times are changing. So I mean, there's still plenty of online people out there, and support your local model shop if you can. I've got one here in Essex that I do support. Unfortunately the markup's a bit great, but I do, if I see something I can't get anywhere else, I will buy from them. But yeah, use it or lose it, as they say. But regards to all the workers at Hattons, I hope they find jobs soon, you know, because it's the last thing you want in the new year. Right, so it's really freezing in here. I'm going to bring this video to a close as these ESUs slowly trundle by. They're beautiful runners, no sound. Shame about the light not working on one end on one of them, but I may be able to get that going one day. Anyway, thanks for watching, and look out for more videos, and keep warm.